It's time for the Chips and Salsa Show.
The only show about Latinos for Latinos. And did we mention Latinos?
It's the Latísima.
Latinos come in all flavors, shapes, and sizes. You don't have to be Latino to enjoy chips and salsa.
Everybody loves chips and salsa.
Welcome to the Chips and Salsa Show from Phoenix. This is Don Jorge El Alacran, and soon I'll have a guest here. Today we don't have a guest, but I have my beautiful friends from New Mexico, Alice Lara and Zeke Rodriguez with the New Mexico Chips and Salsa Show. They've joined us, so we're gonna have a heck of a show. We have a lot to talk about. I guess our illustrious president is here today visiting us. Then I guess he's going to New Mexico, Alice?
Yeah, I understand he's going to be in Albuquerque tonight, is what I read. So, yeah, we're real excited about that, right?
Yeah, he's probably going to get a lot of support.
We'll see. Notice he went to Albuquerque.
Yeah,
Albuquerque, the northern part of the state, we're a little more conservative down here.
For sure. Where's he at in Arizona?
I don't know.
You're not keeping tabs on him?
No.
Oh, it's like, who cares?
He's not at the border, I can tell you that.
Well, yeah, like we were talking right before the show, former Congresswoman Yvette Harrell, who is running again. You know, she got beat out, unfortunately, by Gabe Vasquez.
She got gerrymandered.
Yeah, true. That's very true. And so she had a post on her Facebook, and she's saying, yes, so Biden's flying in tonight to Albuquerque. Meanwhile, he and Congressman Gabe Vasquez doing nothing about the border. They just keep coming in.
It's crazy. And all these Democratic states, I don't know if you've heard, but a lot of these Democratic states are complaining to the federal government that they're being overwhelmed by migrants and they need help. They need money.
George, Senator Kyrsten Sinema, right, from Arizona.
Yeah, she's complaining that they're not helping us here, but they're helping New York. And now I think it was Massachusetts or something. I heard that the governor over there is crying that they need money and they need help from the federal government. Why, I don't understand this. The federal government is the one that caused this, and the Democrats are the ones that caused this, and they're the ones that want. It's just like the liberal mantra: give me money, just keep giving us money, and
recruit voters.
Yeah.
Well, they're replacing us, like in Chicago. They're trying to get rid of the black class. Chicago's having a big problem because they're dumping all the migrants in like the most dense black neighborhoods, and they're at war with the locals. They get into stabbing fights, there's rapings, and the local Democrat government is just like, we're trying to get rid of you. Basically, it's like so overt.
Yeah.
They're trying to replace them.
And that's so sad. That's so sad because didn't Obama come from Chicago? He has a house in Chicago.
Exactly.
Right.
That makes it all the reason why it's way more horrific there than most other places. Obama was a terrible president. I think most of us know that.
Oh, yeah.
So, George, because Kyrsten Sinema is from Arizona, and just to remind Zeke, you probably remember, she was a Democrat. That's how she ran. And then more recently, she is an independent now.
Yep.
And she's been a lot more around being outspoken and not really supporting Biden, right? And she still keeps doing more and more of that.
Good. Who is this?
Yeah, it's good. Kyrsten Sinema. Kyrsten Sinema.
Senator, U.S. Senator, huh?
Yeah, she's U.S. Senator.
Those are big races.
Yeah, so she's going to run as an independent, and
interesting, really.
They're throwing everything they can at her because she's not in the fold anymore. She's
hardcore Democrat. She used to be a Democrat, and I don't know, maybe she still is. She's just very strategic. She's a very shrewd politician. I'll give her that.
Well,
whatever you think.
I don't trust her either way. I don't trust her.
I was going to say I don't either.
And
we lost the sound on you, Don Jorge.
Can't hear you, buddy.
No.
We can't hear you now. Oh, did you just cuss? If I could only read lips.
I'm not a good lip reader yet.
Can you do sign language?
We're having some technical difficulties here.
So if you can hear Zeke and I, maybe we'll do until Don Jorge starts talking.
Right.
We were complaining before we started the show. In Las Cruces, lucky you, Phoenix, we have what they call voter rank. What is it? Rank
choice voting.
Rank
Yeah.
choice voting.
Don't let it happen.
Sucks.
If they try to do it in your local municipality, don't let them do it. It basically favors the last place candidates. It's just it's the least transparent way to vote. And inevitably, we always get the worst people in office here. I mean, that's why we are the worst state in the country. We want you to learn from our mistakes. That's the best thing we can.
Right. Don't do what we're doing.
Yeah. As soon as ranked choice voting went in, Las Cruces went on a different turn.
It's horrible. And I'm still trying to understand it. I think I have the concept down a little bit. But as you were explaining, you could start out way at the bottom and end up
Still
winning.
win. Yep.
How? That just doesn't seem right.
Don Jorge, are you back yet, sir? No,
Oh, shoot.
still don't have you back yet.
Nothing. Ah!
So yeah, ranked choice voting sucks. We were just talking crap about Obama too. It's so weird because Biden's so freaking racist, and that's like Obama's best friend. They got Biden.
Supposed to be, yeah.
But Biden drops N words, hard R words, all through the 80s. He's affiliated with
That's
KKK
fine.
members,
That's fine.
but Obama's totally cool with them. It's wild, huh?
Yeah, and when did the chef drown? Was that
At
last
Bourdain?
week? Yeah.
Oh,
last
that
week.
other chef. So there's a big. Don't be chefing for the Democrats.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
Right. You want to cook their
Yeah,
food.
that guy, the chef died like a week ago. Yeah,
He drowned. They found out, he was a swimmer. He was in really good
it was like
shape.
9 feet full of water.
Oh, nothing fishy. Haha.
Don't hold it.
Unintentional.
Check, Mike.
Check. We still
Nope.
can't hear you.
Nope. Well, we can just keep it rolling if you want to keep it rolling.
I know. So I'm gonna text our technical director
Yeah, text him.
and say,
Okay.
we are still talking. So if you want us to keep talking, we will, because that's one thing we know how to do.
The best thing to do is get involved and fight for your local community, fight for your country. That's really the only options we have left. Like Klaus Schwab has said publicly for the whole world, these are the last elections in world history, 2024. He says it several times publicly that these are the last elections we will all be experiencing. So if there was a time for everybody who is listening and pay attention to get involved, figure out your local government, do anything you can to save humanity, it's right now.
And you might think that's pretty far out there, right? But he's not the only one saying that. There are a lot of people who are so concerned, or this may be our last valid election. So he's not alone. He's really not alone in what he's saying.
Yeah, and I guess I'm still kind of delusional in that way. I just feel like Trump's going to win. It even feels like more confident than the last time, because I was sketchy on the 2020. I still knew, because Roger Stone was saying they were going to cheat the election since freaking the whole time. You just didn't know how they were going to do it. Like, how could they possibly pull that off? Well, they did it.
Oh, they did it.
there you
He's
go.
back.
Yay,
Hey,
you're
there
back.
they did it.
Yay.
Could we get the wording off? No, yeah, some wording on there.
So there's word-
So they did do it, and but see, Trump was down in the polls, and they still had to take a month to count, and they still barely did it. Now Trump's up in the polls, a year and a half out from the election. What are they going to do? They got to jail his ass.
They're doing everything they can to do that.
Yeah.
They want to silence him, and what's hurting them is the judges are turning against them twice
They
already.
are. They
And that is so funny because they think they have it in the bag, but this is going to be interesting because the judge is pissed at some of the prosecutors. They lied to try to get some stuff suppressed.
okay.
The one of the lawyers gave some false information. The judge chastised her about that. Then she just chastised them about this trying to silence them. They didn't prepare the papers right. So he gave them until the 27th of August. Let's see what happens. And
The more they come out against Trump, the more things that happen to him. It seems to be the stronger he gets. And he's a fighter. He's not going to.
and he just said that Georgia, I guess, is planning to file charges against him. He said that one is going to get him over the top.
Secure the election.
You know, they've done the polls. I don't know if you heard about this, Don Jorge, but I was telling Alice, but Trump is right now the most popular pre-primary presidential candidate in American history. They literally have never polled a president this high. The only thing that they can come up with is maybe George Washington was more popular. Maybe.
Yeah, George Washington.
That's incredible.
You know, and I put a post up on it on my story on Facebook, and that was the most popular post I've ever had. I almost got 300 hits on my stories.
Oh.
It was just saying
That's
that
good.
exactly. So people love Trump. Nobody liked the post, but everybody looked at it. So that tells you a lot, right? Everybody's freaking scared, right?
There you go.
But they know him and they like him.
And they have that debate coming up, and I think he will show up at the debate. But everybody that attacks him, they're gonna get booed, and even if the audience isn't supposed to react, they're gonna react. It's gonna be super funny because Christie's gonna attack him, DeSantis gonna attack him, Pence, of course, is gonna attack him, but the ones that don't attack him, like Tim Scott and that other one that you like, what's his name?
Ramaswamy,
Yeah. They're not going to attack him. They're just going to talk about, what we need to fix the economy and stuff. But they're going to move up in the polls. I bet you anything. Haley, I think, is going to play it safe. I think she's going to kind of play it in the middle, and that way, because she wants her numbers coming up too, because she's very close to DeSantis. So it's going to be interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Good either. God, Nikki Haley sucks too.
I think you're right, George. I think he is going to show up, and Trump is so strategic. So he says, well, I don't know. He hasn't said he's not going to show up officially, but he hasn't said that he will. But he is very strategic, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised. And like you say, they keep saying stuff against him. He just uses it for ammo.
I think he's to show up in one of those prison suits with a
that's a good idea.
With a chain ball, dragging the chain ball, and then just standing there. I think that would be so funny. People would just get a crack out of it because they laugh about him.
You get more attention than anything.
He should dye his hair, accentuate and make it orange. They always say
real orange. Yeah, real orange.
Orange.
That would be so funny.
Tell them.
Oh, that would be so funny. And people would eat it up. I mean, that's like they'll say, "Hey, the people are already saying that even if he goes to jail, they're going to vote for him." So you got the majority won't, because being realistic about it, he'll be in jail if that's the case. But they'll still favor him. But when it comes to the general election, they want somebody that is not in jail, and it's going into the debates with Biden. So I'm hoping that he can delay this. I think they've already delayed the trial until May of 2024.
Yeah.
So if they do that, or I think it's May, but it's next year, but it's going to be during the general election. So, when it's really heating up, because the primary will weed out he'll get rid of a lot of the low number people.
I'm impressed with how in tune the public is now, because I love DeSantis. I still appreciate him.
Good governor, great
governor, but
great governor.
People see where his money's coming from. They're seeing who he's serving right now. They're seeing he's throwing Trump under the bus, not supporting him whatsoever, and they're not responding well to it at all. And I love that, because that tells me that people actually understand what's really going on, and people
they're watching, and they're watching this Biden trial or investigation. That is going to come out in the end of this year too, to where the Democrats are going to be really, really.
That's a good point.
If Trump is still up there and is not in jail, it's going to really, really put him in a situation where they're going to just say, "Hey, we need to dump him." They're not going to put Harris in that place, because
she's not even an American citizen.
It's
I don't think
going to
she'd be a good candidate.
She can't be president. She literally can't.
Now Kennedy, on the other hand,
Okay. But
could
they don't
move
want
up.
him either.
I know they don't want him. And there's another one that said he'll run if if Biden steps down or gets into trouble. It's one of the senators, but he's popular.
Gavin Newsom, governor.
Well, another one is Gavin Newsom, and he's got a lot of skeletons. If you open that closet, you better look out. That thing, they're gonna
More than Big Mike? I don't know.
But he has a good following. He's got a good chance to create a couple of waves, but not if Trump's in there. He won't be able to beat Trump.
What about Big Mike? What do you think about him? I mean, her, Michelle Obama.
Are you sure those are the right pronouns?
Yeah.
Everyone addressing her as Big Mike online. So
I read an article of one of his biographers, Obama's biographers, and he said that Obama has written some stuff about fantasies, and it could be that he married one. But who knows?
she could be just a very masculine woman. I mean, she's got a huge back, shoulders are massive, and that just happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just a big gal. It is what it is.
It could be. Where it gets questionable to me is when they talk about pictures from the past, wedding pictures and different things. I don't know. I'm like you. I'm like you. It's true.
I know
but I think she would be a formidable candidate.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Me too. I think better than Newsom, honestly, because Newsom does have a lot of skeletons, and he's just.
Well, I could see her running and then bringing Newsom as a vice president.
Yeah. Or maybe vice versa, even Newsom on top, like you were saying.
Oh, and her as a VP.
And Big Mike in the back end.
That could happen. Well, she would get support from the party.
She has all the support. She has all of it.
That wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
It's true.
Or she might bring her husband to be vice president. Anything could happen. He could run as vice president.
He could.
How could that? Because if
he could only serve 2 terms as president, but not vice president. A whole different.
But the vice president's role is to take the place of president if the president can't do it. So since he's already served his terms, are you sure about that? I don't know.
Who knows? They do whatever they want anyway.
Well, that's true.
Hey, I've seen some strange things happen in our time, so I wouldn't doubt it.
That's right. Hey, George.
They could put Kennedy as a vice presidential candidate, and
they're not touching that guy.
They don't want him. They do not want him. He's too legit, too honest. It's too real. I want to interrupt you for a moment, George, because we probably need to quickly just see what we're doing here. We've kind of been on hiatus. Chips and Salsa Show, New Mexico has been. We've been really super busy lives. So this is kind of a reboot. And thank you, George, for having us on.
Yeah, thanks, man.
We appreciate Don Jorge.
Hey.
And what we're hoping is to get rebooted. So I think you mentioned.
Yeah, we'll have studio up within a month. In less than a month, we'll have our studio up.
Good.
In a nice studio like Mr. Don Jorge over here.
We'll try to have
a couple of chairs, a table, little background, and hey,
Hawaiian kickback shirt. I like that too.
Yeah, might do that. We have appreciated. A lot of people have been asking about the shows, and our fans out there. It's so nice of you guys to still be interested, and we appreciate your patience with us. And we really want to get going because next year's a huge, big election year for 2024. We have some local elections here this season in New Mexico, in Las Cruces specifically, here locally. But we just appreciate you guys hanging on. You can get information from our Chips and Salsa show page. You can follow me and Zeke on Facebook if you want to also. And I understand also, George, and this might be a question for Eric. I know that he's going to be revamping our website, so you'll be able to do that. And right now, what he's going to do with this show, you're going to be able to go to Rumble and also to the YouTube page for Chips and Salsa Show, and you'll be able to see the broadcast there.
Exactly. Well, right now we have it. We only have a couple on Rumble, and on YouTube on our page we have a whole library on YouTube, and we're doing a little touches to it, but we have to put some pictures in there. That's what I told Alice. Some current pictures, like headshots. Yeah. So we're if you go to the site now, you can see some of our shows, and it's starting to get a life of its own because what we need to do is get your Rumble on the show. You know, I don't know how you guys
Yeah.
will do it.
We'll be on Rumble, Twitter, Facebook, and
Yes.
YouTube.
Okay, so he can add Twitter to the list because we have Spotify that we're going to try to work on, and
Yeah, we'll be on YouTube till they kick us off.
Yeah, I know. That's true. It'll be a badge of honor if they
I
kick
keep
us
talking
out.
about Big Mike. It ain't gonna be long.
but we'll put a little caption that says temporarily cut off, temporarily in YouTube jail or Facebook jail. Go to our other sites.
Freeze.
So-
YouTube's been pretty lenient, but I mean, the big where everyone's going is the independent media, man. Look at Tucker Carlson, Twitter, Rumble. So
Yep.
we're gonna go where the people want us. And
Exactly.
We're honored to be here with you, Don Jorge. Thank you again for having us on, man.
Thank you.
This is
What's that one that Trump has, Truth Central? How hard is it to get on there?
I don't know nothing.
I don't follow it. I'm really bad about that. Are you on it at all, George?
No, but I've been thinking about doing it so that we can add
Really?
it to our. We
The
can add
few
it to our.
people that I know that are on it, love it. I know a couple people
Yeah.
love it, but
I've had people ask me why aren't we on it, so we're looking into that because it'll be another one to add to our repertoire. Like
There you
that
go.
word, repertoire.
Repertoire. If you're out there and you're watching our show and maybe you would like to be an intern, either here in Las Cruces, New Mexico, maybe you go to NMSU, New Mexico State University, or you're there in Arizona at ASU or the community colleges there. We could use the help, and a young person like that could get us on all the different platforms too.
right,
We can give you college credit. We could, arrange for that too.
right.
So this
Yes,
is kind of like a shout out.
We will be hunting at the university in the next week or so. I got a meeting with Jewel
with
actually.
Jewel Navarrete.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Huh?
So we're looking for a videographer, video editor to help us with these streams. Get the word out there. We're running out of time. Klaus Schwab's trying to kill everybody.
Yeah, we're really close to the campus ASU right now.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah, we're like I don't know, about a mile away.
Oh man! Shout out to ASU.
6 miles away, and they just had an article. They have 144,000 students sign up this year.
Wow!
144,000?
What the hell? That's the size of Las Cruces.
Yeah, actually bigger. Cruces is 115,000.
Wow!
Oh my gosh. Well,
That's
that has
insane.
to include online, like taking courses. Could they take it out of state? No. Have to
No,
be-
that's on campus.
those are the on-campus students.
Yes, they just said that this morning. We still have a lot of time, right? Okay. I'm looking at the clock over there. It's like 22:33, so we're good. So what we're going to try to do, well, not try, but what we're going to do in 2 weeks, we're going to have another festive love with New Mexico and us together. And
Yeah.
We're going to have hopefully a really good surprise guest. I don't want to announce it because I
Uh-oh.
want to make sure that she could be on our show. So, but we will announce it on our webpage.
It'll be fun either way.
Yeah, it'd
yeah.
be good. It'd be nice.
Everybody knows Rachel Alexander. I mean,
Rachel's a really good friend. She's
Yeah.
been at Chips Arena for a long time, a great supporter of us. For those of you that follow her, she is a journalist now. She calls herself a recovering attorney. She writes for the Arizona Sun-Times. I think her articles also appear in Town Hall, don't they, George?
yeah, I think
And,
so because I think I saw it.
She's a great friend of ours, and she can tell you national, local, state level, just a fantastic background.
Yeah, she was going to be on our show today, but she has a school board meeting that she scheduled and she couldn't get out of it. So at this time, right now, she's at the school board meeting. They were looking forward to her covering it because she's going to do an article on it, and it's like really, really good. So when she comes on board, she'll talk about. God bless you, there, son.
Thank you. Sorry, guys. Excuse me.
But yeah, she'll probably be on our show on that, but I want to verify it first because I never put things in concrete unless it's for sure. Yeah.
George,
so-
speaking about good friends of the show and Chipsters and Chipsterinos. So if this is the first time watching it, if you follow the Chips and Salsa show, kind of coined a term way back when. So if you follow us, we call you chipsters, or like if you happen to be of the Latino persuasion, I might call you chipstero or chipstera. Sorry, those are the pronouns that I use, chipstero or chipstera. But another really good chipstero of the show is our good friend Sid de la Fuente. And
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to Sid because he had started an organization called CALO, Conservative American Latino Organization, and he's rebooting that now. And probably in the future, you'll probably have him on or so. And he can
Oh
talk.
yeah, we've talked to him about that, and he's one of our future guests on the show too. Yeah,
Great.
yeah, it's gonna be
One of those.
quite a few guests on our show. Which is, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna try to until you guys launch your Pacific date, where you guys because you guys were gonna do it on Monday, we were
We're gonna
do
shoot
it
for
on
9/11.
Tuesday. 9/11.
Yeah, let's shoot for 9/11.
Perfect.
But I mean, you guys, is that a Monday or
I have no idea.
okay?
I'll look it
But-
up while you keep talking.
But I know you guys were going to have it on one certain day.
On
We
a
were going to
Monday.
have it, and we were going to have it on another day or on Tuesdays. But there'll be times when we're going to intermingle, and like we're doing now, and have both shows on the same day, and that's even better. So,
Well, 9/11's on Monday, so that could work out, and we could do our show on Monday. You can do it on Tuesday, and that way we
okay,
could
yeah.
be on each
Yeah.
other's shows.
Yeah, we
too.
could definitely start stacking. It's just more content for everybody. So
Yeah.
that's cool. I like that.
And then we're going to do podcasts on certain days other than Tuesday, and those are going to air on our platform too. So,
Oh, there you go.
yeah. And then, yeah, we're working on several different plans that we have.
Well, good.
And we should give a
Well-
shout out to Eric Williamson. He's our man behind the scenes, takes care of all the
Yeah,
technical
that's
stuff.
that stuff's
and
hard.
has
Thanks,
us up
Eric.
here.
Yeah,
So-
he's good. We're doing a platform on medicinal cannabis. So that's a different than our regular show, our regular political show. So it's something that we're working on. But and then we have other platforms. I had told Alice that we might do a country western platform that people just tune in to listen to country western or oldies or music.
And you
a
can
music
invite Jason Aldean. Yeah.
Jason, yeah. You never know.
I'll tell you what we need to be working on. It's building that freaking wall.
Yeah.
You need to build that damn wall.
So
Well,
with that,
Texas tried and they're suing the crap out of them, but they're doing those buoys in the water. That
Really?
scared the crap out of them because they're actually buoys in the water, but it has Constantine wire on it and stuff. It's like,
Wow.
yeah. So the people have to swim around them. I think it's like 3 miles of it or 9 miles. And where it ends, then it's the difficult part. There's actually a wall there. So they can't. So Texas is trying really hard. It's just every time we try something, that's another thing. We attack each other as Republicans. We call each
Yeah,
other rhinos.
Yep.
They don't have a name like that for Democrats. They just close them off like Kennedy. They just don't talk about him, or if they do, they don't call him a rhino. They just don't support him. And
There is an internal battle. I talked to them. It's the progressives versus the traditional liberal Democrats, but they don't even really talk about it though, because
no,
they'll get the
Well,
axe.
but
they
what
are
we-
very good about hiding the dirty laundry.
yeah, but what we do is we just throw it out there and say so and so is a rhino, so and so is a rhino. And
Yeah, we do.
we shouldn't do that. Our party is better when we're united.
I don't like throwing that word around, rhino, because it's kind of it's another hard R word. But I will call out Republicans that are cowards, and I will call them out. In fact,
That's fair.
I just called out our last gubernatorial candidate, Mark Ronchetti. He was running for governor, and I've been nailing him because he was just terrible. He ran a horrible campaign. He had a 6'6" rocket engineer, black lieutenant governor cowboy.
Fantastic candidate.
Brilliant man.
Fantastic.
Never mentioned him. Never said nothing.
Wow.
And so I've been hammering. Everybody's been loving it. But I don't call him a rhino. I just say he sucks. It is what
Yeah.
it is.
But you
I
know,
will give him a little bit of defense because I did go to when we first moved back here.
Oh, here we
I
go.
was invited. It was a luncheon or something, and that's where I got to meet him. I got to meet.
Oh, you got to meet him?
I got to meet both Ronchetti and it's Thornton.
At Thornton, yeah.
right?
At Thornton.
Yeah, and that's why this is cool. Great candidates and everything. But you know, I had just moved here, wasn't following politics, so Zeke knows a heck of a lot more. He's been.
Well, I
he's
ran
been doing
for
this a long
lieutenant
time.
governor, so I went to a lot of functionings with him. I spent time with him. Pretty much debated everybody. Nobody can beat me, by the way. But he would get close. He would get close because he's good on stage. He's a weatherman, but he won't talk about the border wall. He won't talk about election fraud at all. He's an outspoken anti-Trumper. Get this guy out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't need to be doing that. I agree with you. It's too much, you know. And plus, also with people, and George, you knows this, and you know this. Trump, for all intents and purposes, because he is the last elected Republican president, he's the leader of our party.
Yeah.
He's the leader of our party,
Yeah.
and you know, you're right. You're right.
How is it over there, George? Is everybody still pretty pro-Trump, or is that still a bad
we
word?
have
How is it?
no. I think we have about 89% turnout. That usually still they back Trump. everywhere
Wow,
I go.
really?
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Because
Go to
then
conference?
you have the ones that that'll attend the meetings and they're backing DeSantis, and that's our friend Carolyn. She's running that campaign out here, and she's good. But
Yeah, we
most
like
of
your-
the
just
yeah,
go-
Carolyn follows us, and she's very good. She's very good, and but I think 89% of the people at the meetings is still back Trump, and I go to a few meetings, so I'm not.
That's powerful.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
impressed.
powerful. Huh?
I'm
What?
impressed. 89%. I'm impressed that you can use that high of
Yeah.
a figure.
Yeah, because I don't want to say 90% because it's not true. I mean, because if you're in a room, we had a couple of people back there that they're DeSantis,
Uh-oh.
a couple, maybe one that's a Tim Scott, but that's it. Everybody else is, so 89% is it's
I think as time goes on, Trump's going to get even bigger.
oh yeah.
Like a year from today, Trump's going to be all that we see everywhere all day, all the time.
Well, it's almost all we see now.
For good or bad reasons, but yeah, he's got the most exposure.
He's got the most, and he's been working on it forever. I posted videos on my Facebook where he's sponsoring the World WWE, where he's like doing wrestling and stuff like that. I mean, he's been with the people for decades.
And the thing is, he has a sense of humor,
Mhm.
and he tells you the way it is. He's always been that way. That's why I've always been a Trump fanatic, a Trump supporter, and I'll always be a Trump supporter until somebody comes that's better than Trump. And so far, I don't see it. Tim Scott is a good VP, and Trump now looking at the candidates running, and he said he's looking for a good VP out of this, and Tim Scott is one of them. And right now, I think he's right now. I think that's his top pick right now.
Is it black
But
dude?
oh yeah, he's good. When he gets up and talks, you listen. He's good, and he's down to earth.
There,
I
yeah,
think-
there's, I told you that I really appreciate Ramaswamy, Vivek Ramaswamy, because he's a powerful speaker, and he's the one that said, you guys, you gotta support Trump. Anyway, but I want to tell you, because I don't forget. Remember, Don Jorge, this is from the very beginning. You have always supported Trump. I started out Cruz in the last.
Yep.
2016. I
Ted
started as a
Cruz?
Cruz person, yeah, and then went to Trump. But George was always from the very beginning
Yep.
Trumper. But what I want to remind you,
I
Don
respect that.
Jorge, is remember our good friend Frank Thorwald. Frank
Yes.
Thorwald had him on our show. We used to be on KFNX in Phoenix, and Frank was an assistant to Ed Meese, Attorney General Ed Meese, during the Reagan administration.
Mhm.
Yes.
One thing that stuck in my head is he said, and he was I think a Cruz person at that point. He wasn't even a Trumper, but he said that in all the events, official events that he'd go to, Trump would be there. And one thing that he would notice about Trump is that he would go. So if there were the servers, the drivers, or limo drivers, or whatever, he would go to every single person and he would shake hands and thank them. and that he noticed, because a lot of people don't do that. They're the official and stuff, and they don't have time for that, whatever. And that always stuck in my head. So as you were saying, he's got the connection. I think he's just kind of always naturally been that way and had the connection with everyone. He's not to go and shake their hand and thank them.
Talking about Frank Thorwell, I was just talking to Eric about him the other day, and I told him the party doesn't know what they have here. We have some really good people that would help the party. Frank rose up to, I think, first vice chair of the county. He stepped in when somebody left, and so Frank Thorwell was, I think it was Tyler Boyer, and then Frank Thorwell was his first vice chair. But Frank Thorwell did the inaugurations for Reagan. Two inaugurations. He did the planning for those. He worked for Ed Meese, like you said. He met the Pope, and then they sent him to Iraq. He was one of the point men when Iraq fell. He was to organize Iraq back into like a
Wow.
Yeah. So
Crazy was that?
but he was here, and he has that pedigree, but people just
That's
I don't-
crazy.
you don't-
And a good, nice man. Genuine.
it's interesting. It's interesting that we got people.
Don Jorge, put him on your list because he would be a really good guest because he
I already
has
told
a lot of history. Awesome.
I already told Eric that I'm gonna see if I get him to come over here and let him talk. He's always has a lot of things to talk about. So it's like he's
Right
good.
on. Oh, you're so right. You absolutely are. Absolutely. But
So-
Jorge, I also
So,
wanted-
so
wanted
who's gonna be your future guest? Do you have ideas of who you guys might have?
well, Mr. Zekinator is super well connected. As I was
Zekinator.
telling you, Yvette Harrell is going to run against
Yeah, she'll be a
Congress.
guest. She'll be on.
And she's
We have a
great
lot of
candidate.
a lot of politicians, community activists.
Our party chairman, our county
Party
party chairman,
chairman.
Ernest Carlson, and his dad is knows a lot about oil. There's a lot of people that we.
I'd like to start hanging out with people from El Paso because they're dealing with the open border. They're dealing with crime
We
too.
need to go down there. You're
Yeah,
right.
I think that we just want to. I want to start exposing what's really going on because most people don't even know what the hell's going on. Still, they're so oblivious.
They have
it's like,
they have the cartel showing up at the border now,
yeah,
fully armed. I've seen
Yeah.
pictures.
protecting their investment.
they're-
Exactly.
They're here. I mean, what's the representative? Jennifer
Jones.
Jones came and spoke with our coalition meeting, and Deming is part of her.
Yeah, she's state representative of a big part of the border. Big part. Mexico's right there.
Mhm.
So she sees it. The crime is crazy. The drugs are crazy. I mean, these open borders are something else, guys. It's the most dangerous border in all of the world. Nobody says anything about it. It's crazy.
I think I'm going to see part of the border in next year when Georgie comes out. My son. He's going to be assigned to Fort Huachuca, and that's close to you guys, and it's close to Nogales. I was looking at it in the map today. Fort Huachuca. If you keep going down, I guess you go right into Nogales, the Gulf.
It's close to Sierra Vista. Excuse me, because I've got to go get a power cord.
Should be right back. But yeah, so
So yeah, so he's going to be assigned there in Fort Huachuca. So
okay.
I'll travel more back and forth because with him there, it's better than South Carolina where he's at now. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So you're gonna be hanging out at the border there pretty soon?
probably,
Have
yeah.
you been down there recently? What's going on over there with
I haven't been out there, but I've seen people that have been out there, and it's the same thing. They're still crossing. They're still crossing in droves, and now they got the cartel over there too. It's on the border.
That's Arizona you're talking about
Yeah,
with the cartels.
yeah, and they're helping them. They're making so much money on this migrant, bringing migrants over that that and then the drugs, the fentanyl and the cocaine. I mean, it's just a drug island.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people don't realize about America is that Americans absolutely love drugs per capita, Americans are on more drugs than anyone else in the world.
Oh, that's
it's-
sad.
That's a lot of that's the pharmaceutical industry. You know, they advertise every day. The border's wide open, so yeah, I think people need to understand the real implications about that open border. How's the crime over there with you guys? Everything cool over there with crime? You guys nice?
Actually, it's gone down. The only thing that went up a little bit was rapes, by what I saw.
That's not good either.
Homicides and all that went down percentages, but the rapes was the only thing that went up a little bit.
Do you
So
think that's an accurate figure? It's really kind of amazing that the rates would go, that
yeah,
would decreasing.
no, the rapes went up.
The rapes went up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said-
All
I
the
thought
other
you
ones
said-
went down.
Oh, rapes.
Rape.
R-A-P-E-S.
Yeah, rapes. Yeah, but the home burglaries, the homicides, all of that went down a little. It was just the rapes took a little hit.
Rapes.
You know,
I don't think you can say that on. So you gotta say grape.
You gotta say grape.
the grapes? No,
There
the
you
rape.
go. I think they do censor that for real.
So you're talking about all of Arizona or Phoenix or?
They were talking about Arizona. The numbers in Arizona.
And is that supplied, are those figures supplied from the police departments or do you know? I'm just.
Oh, I forget who. It was on social media, but I don't remember who. Yeah, I don't remember who brought up the figures, but I'll have it the next Chips and Salsa show. I'll have those figures for you and the current figures. We're moving up fast, both New Mexico and Phoenix in our Chips and Salsa show. And I want all our chipsters, chipterinas, or whatever, however you say them. I want them to know that we're going to put on some good shows coming up and into the 24 season. So stay tuned to future shows, because I know Zeke and Alice are going to put on a great show from New Mexico, and we're looking forward to that. And to be on Rumble is going to be great, and YouTube. And I think our producer's working on Spotify, and MeWe. We still haven't lost MeWe. MeWe's still on there.
And just to tell people real quick about MeWe, I set up a Chips and Salsa show account on MeWe. Then something happened and it's not letting me get back on there. So if you see something on there and it's very old, and I tried to contact them, but so I apologize for that. We may just have to just set up a whole new one.
Yeah.
Maybe call New Mexico, Arizona Chips and Salsa or something. But
Yeah, well, I'll look into that too, because it's one of the ones. Oh, glad you showed me. Let's not forget Laugh for Hope, September the 1st. September the 1st, people. Laugh for Hope. There's time to get tickets for that. We're one of the sponsors on there, the Chips and Salsa show, and it's on September the 1st, and it's I believe it's a Friday. And tune in to our website. It's on all our websites, so you can catch it, how to get tickets, who to contact, and we'll have more information in our next show in 2 weeks. Alice, do you want to say a few words before we sign off?
yes, and hopefully you could even get Mary Gratinger, who works with that. Laugh for Hope, for those of you who don't know, this is a big fundraiser for the, give you the name of it, the Crisis Center, but they help pregnant women. They have mobile vans so they can get free sonograms and everything. And they don't just help them if they decide to have the child, but they continue on after the child is born, help them get jobs, just great success stories. And they bring in comedians, and that's what it's called, Laugh for Hope. They're clean comedians. They always do a great show. And
It's a very good show.
I'll make it, but I just can't do it this time, unless Zeke might go up there, who knows. But thank you for supporting them. Yeah, I'd like to say thank you, Zeke, for being here today, and thank you for everybody's Chipsters patience out there. We will be rebooting. You're going to see more of us, whether you like it or not.
We'll be around.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do a podcast from the Laugh for Hope on that day. It's gonna be a Friday, but we're gonna have our cameras there and stuff, so it's gonna be nice. And so we're encouraging all our chipsters. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble, and look for Laugh for Hope, and it's on there, and all the information's on there. You guys are great. You're doing a great thing out there, and you're gonna create a earthquake there in New Mexico pretty soon.
Thank you. Thank you, chipsters. Thank you, Don Jorge, Alice, Crisis King.
Yes.
Time to fight is now. The future is ours. We just got to come together. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Goodbye, Chip
Later, guys.